Hey guys, this is IXRollOutIX with LEGO Gundam Age Gafran. Now here we have the Gafran in its mobile suit mode. Now while it isn't a transformer, it is a transforming mobile suit. So let's take a look at this mode here. Let's just do a 360 of it. It's got the big wing skirts on the side there. And very noticeably this appendage sticking off of the back. It makes this guy incredibly back heavy, but it can't be helped. That's what the actual design of the Gafran is like. And while it isn't efficient, it's more or less accurate. For the head here, you got this commander's fin and these two little bits on the side for armor. His arms are pretty much exactly the same as my Gundam Age, just recolored black and blue. The chest here looks pretty nice. If you take off this bit here, inside this gun barrel, there's a little green bit. So if the light catches it just right, which is a little hard to do, you can see a little flash of green in there, which is kind of cool. The legs are very simple, but they work. You don't really see a lot of the upper leg because of the giant skirts, but it's got two joints in it. In this mode, it only uses one joint here, and it can bend 90 degrees. I like to lock the other joint here because it needs all the stability it can get holding this thing up, and not to mention the skirts too. So while he does have a double jointed knee, I don't like bending that. I just like sliding that up and locking it into place. And the feet here. For articulation, up at the head, it's on a socket wrench joint here, much like the wrist on my Ankh figure. So it goes forward and back, side to side, and has a little bit of tilt here, which is pretty cool. The arm goes forward and back, in and out. It rotates up here, bends at the elbow, and it's got a little bit of wrist movement. Wiggles around a little bit, like that. The hands could be a bit more complex. Right now they just are the exact same hands on my Gundam Age, but they should sort of have a gun in the palm that also deploys a beam saber and sort of have claws, but I haven't really found an efficient way to do that at this scale. No waist articulation in this guy. These skirts can move out, they can move forward and back, and they can rotate like this. So you can get them out of the way however you please. The legs go forward and back, in and out, bend at the knee, and the ankles tilt side to side a little bit and rotate. So a fair bit of articulation in the body itself. Nothing too spectacular, too much articulation, and the top heaviness of this guy will make him fall apart. In the back here, the gun tail thing, it can come back here. You can sort of have it support him like that as a stand, but that looks a little silly. Granted, you really aren't going to be looking at him from this angle, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But it's also, on a joint here that allows it to rotate and move up and down like that, and it also bends up here so it can go over his shoulder as a shoulder-mounted gun of some sort. So that is awesome. Decent articulation. And he transforms, and we'll get into that in a second. Let's do a quick comparison here. Move him off to the side there. Here he is with the Gundam Age 1 normal. He is a fair bit bigger, and that is accurate. The Gafran is supposed to be a little bit bigger than the Gundam. Only just by a little bit, though, so I think they fit into scale very well. The aesthetic of the models here, they really complement each other. The colors and just the blocky feel of the two. They're both more blocky, simplified iterations of the on-screen model. And yeah, I think they look nice together. Here he is just with a standard minifigure here for reference. So, let's get to transforming this guy. So to transform this guy, you're going to want to start by just getting things out of the way. The tail bit, just bring that out and rotate it down. Just get it out of the way. Leave it there. The head, you're going to want to sort of bring that up like that. At this point, I guess it wouldn't hurt to take these side bits and rotate them up like that to make sort of the ears of the flight mode. The wings come out like this, and yeah, just leave them there for now. You need all the room you can get with the shoulders and the legs here. Okay, now that all of that is out of the way, he looks slightly different, as you can tell. Let's start with the legs. You're going to want to rotate them at the knee here, and then bend them this way, like that. Okay, you're going to want to wiggle out this bit here at the T-joint so that it can bend, and you're going to want to bend that all the way as well. The same over here. Make sure everything's all tight up in there. So you sort of got this chicken leg thing going on. Then you're going to rotate the feet. And I really like this part. It's one of my favorite parts of the whole model. The feet here, on stud friction, they sort of slide out a little bit and then rotate around to make claws, and it sort of makes a bigger gap in between here. Just looks really cool, more bestial. So do the same back here, rotate that around, and then you have the flight mode feet. Okay, for the shoulders, going to want to kind of bring the wings up here. That opens up a little gap in there so you can bring the shoulders back like this. And then that gives you enough room to bring the arm forward and rotate the shoulder forward. Like that. And then this arm here comes down. Do the same over here. Like that. Sort of bend about the elbow a little bit. Then the wings, they come down just like that, simple enough. And the head, sort of bring that up as far as it'll go, and then slide it back down. And all that's left to do is take the tail, bring that around and up like that. And there you have the Gafran in flight mode. So here is the Gafran in flight mode, and it's very different. Usually Gundam flight modes are things like jets, folded up robots, or hell, even birds. But this is sort of this wicked looking dragon thing, and I like it. It's got the wings up here, the claws, which again I really like, and the tail back here. It's also sort of got the, I don't know, it's got these wing things on the head. They're not perfectly represented on my Lego model, but there is change enough in the head to make it work. You can see these shoulders come up here. They have a little bit of movement, but they're very restricted because of what they do in the transformation. The tail back here, again, it does have a little bit of movement, but more importantly, it can come up like this and still function as a gun. The legs pretty much have the same amount of articulation, just in a different fashion. And the wings, which I think are most important of all in this mode, have quite a bit of movement. They move up like this, they move out like this, they flap and they rotate. So you can do a whole lot of things with these. You can sort of bring them back and bring them out and up like this. You can pretty much do whatever you want with them. And yeah, so you got a lot of options with this guy. I like sort of bringing the cannon up like that. The head, again, I mean, it is a little restricted, just like the arms, just because of the position it is in, but nothing too bad. So that is about it, guys, and this is IXRollOutIX signing off.